In this video, we're going to be looking at production, okay, and understanding a bit more about what production is. So if you were to define production, the definition would be this. It's turning our factor inputs into outputs. It's as simple as that. So our factor inputs are land, labor, capital, and enterprise, okay? So hopefully you know what these are already from one of your first lessons in economics. Okay, so we're turning these factors of production into output. Now, productivity is another term you'll come across within economics. Okay, and this can often lead to some confusion. So we have productivity in general, which is output produced per factor unit employed. Okay, so these are all the different factor units. So that means we can have land productivity, we can have labor productivity, we can have capital productivity, and we can even have the productivity of the entrepreneur as well. Each of these factor units can have their own productivity levels. Okay, so productivity, once again, is how much output can be produced by one of the factor units. Okay, we're going to turn our attention to labor productivity because this is probably the type of productivity that's most commonly worked out, okay, in economics. So labor productivity, we're going to be looking at two ways to calculate it. So the first one is the output per worker. You could think of it like that. So your total output divided by your number of workers. And the other way you could think of it is the total amount of output divided by the total number of hours worked in your labor force. So you could think about the labor productivity in two ways. I'm going to concentrate on this way here, output per worker in a given period of time, for example, a day. Okay, so this would be the formula that you can use to work that out. So output divided by the number of workers, and that will give you the productivity, the labor productivity. Okay, so I've given you two examples here. You've got number one, which is labor force A. Labor force A, they produce 5,000 units per day, and there are 1,000 workers. So what would be the productivity level here? If you want to work that out, you can leave them down in the comment section below. And then labor force B, they make 5,500 units per day, yet they have 1,110 workers. Okay, so what would be the productivity of these two labor forces, and which labor force is the most productive? If you want to leave those answers down below, when they come in, I'll start to give you the correct answer. But if you follow this formula, you should be able to work out what that is. Any questions, also leave them in the comment section below.